Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie, my dark academia mug from Book Babe Designs. So today's video is going to be my April TBR. You know how this goes. We're gonna be talking about the books that I want to read in April, yo. So let's just get into it. I think April might end up being a kind of a busy month for me. I just have a feeling, but hopefully a lot of reading can also take place. But let's just get into it. I'm gonna not hold up these first three books because I have different covers of them on my shelves, but let's just go. So the first one I would love to read is Braveheart by Emma Hamm. I really just want to finish out this Dragon of Umbria series because there's 5 books and I've read 2 of them and I really just want to finish them. So I have access to the audiobooks and I'm just going to try to fly through this because while it will be bittersweet that it is over, I'm very excited for it. I loved the first 2 books. I love the dragon. I love Lorelai, the half human, half elf. I like their friends. I like the fantasy journeys they've been on. There's humor elements. There's really fun fantasy elements. There's the threat of this evil king that is trying to destroy all magical creatures, and he has a vendetta now. There's a lot going on. There's dragons to potentially find or save, and there's just a lot of things. So I would really like to fly through this series, and because I can't really tell you about the third book except that they're fighting an ancient curse. The first book you're following Lorelai and Abraxas, who Abraxas is the king's dragon, and a dragon in this world means that they are a dragon, but they can also transform into a human. So it's not just a straight magical creature, it's like a shifting creature, but their form is a dragon, and if they shift into their human form, it can be very painful, and if they're in their human form too long, it can be worse. So he is the king's dragon, and the king has these dragon eggs, and he uses them as leverage so that the dragon does whatever he wants and will protect him. Lorelai is a half human, half elf, and she's kind of doesn't fit into the human world, doesn't fit into the magical world, but the king is a horrible, horrible person, and he is trying to basically slowly eradicate all of the magical creatures. And so there is a rebellion that is starting, and she just wants to be no part of it. She wants to live her life doing what she wants to do, but she kind of gets sucked into helping the rebellion. And the way she does this is that the king is holding a competition for his bride, to find his future bride, because he knows that he needs to marry and carry on the lineage. And so she enters the competition and is accepted. And so she goes into the castle and the kingdom in the hopes that she will take him down from the inside out, but has to get past this dragon bodyguard. So that's the premise you're looking at. This is book 3. I'm very excited. I'm gonna read that one. And then I'm also going to try to go right into Torn Heart, which is book 4, which is scary. It makes it look very sad. And then I also want to get into book 5, Taloned Heart. I hope to finish out that series in April. It will be a wonderful time and a bittersweet time. And also Emma Hamm is a boss. This whole series, the first one came out in January 2022 and the last one came out in July 2023. She released 4 of them in 2022. It's insane. Anyway, those are the first 3 books that I would like to read in April, so that's a good chunk of them. And the next book that I'm hoping to read is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Part of the reason I want to read this is because it is the book in April for my Buzzword Book Challenge, which the buzzword for April was something to do with the earth, and it could be anything to do with the earth, so I was using this because it has sea in it. I guess emerald would work too. Anyway, so I hope to read Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I don't know a lot about it, but I kind of want to be in the dark about it. I've heard it was cute, but I'll read you what it says on the back. It says, "In the middle of the ocean there was a girl who lived upon a rock. This was not an ocean like the one you have imagined, nor was the rock like the one you have imagined. The girl, however, might be as you imagined, assuming you imagined her as thoughtful, soft-spoken, and overly fond of collecting cups." And I've heard this is kind of similar to The Princess Bride, and that's all I need to know. Also, this edition is beautiful, but hope to read this. Another one that I would like to read that has been on my shelf and on my radar for a long time is The North Wind by Alexandra Warwick. This is the Once Upon a Book Club exclusive edition. I just thought it was really, really pretty with the metal things and all of that, and then old looking book aspect. I also bought the Once Upon a Book Club edition of the second book in this series, and I have the whole box and it's under my chair right now. And the way you're supposed to do that with that book box is you're supposed to start reading it, and then when you get to certain pages, you're supposed to open something in the box. And I thought it would be a fun thing to film potentially or unbox and show you guys. We'll see if I get to that point. But in order to do that, I have to read this one. And it's one of my like fantasy romance books that's been on my shelf for a while and in my mind for a while, and I would like to give it a shot. This is book 1 in the 4 Wind series. This is the North Wind, and then I think the next one is the West Wind. And it says, inspired by Beauty and the Beast and the myth of Hades and Persephone, this lush and enchanting enemies to lovers fantasy romance is perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas, Jennifer L. Armentrout, and Scarlett St. Clair. Wren of Edgewood is no stranger to suffering. With her parents gone, it's Wren's responsibility to ensure she and her sister survive the harsh and endless winter. But if the legends are to be believed, her home might not be safe for much longer. For 300 years, the land surrounding Edgewood has been encased in ice as the Shade, a magical barrier that protects the townsfolk from the Deadlands beyond, weakens. Only one thing can stop the Shade's fall, the blood of a mortal woman bound in wedlock to the North Wind. A dangerous immortal whose heart is said to be as frigid as the land he rules. And the time has come to choose his bride. When the North Wind sets his eyes upon Wren's sister, Wren will do anything to save her, even if it means sacrificing herself in the process. But mortal or not, Wren won't go down without a fight. The North Wind is a standalone enemies to lovers slow burn fantasy romance, first in a series sprinkled with Greek mythology. So that sounds interesting. Hades and Persephone / Beauty and the Beast retellings seem to be vast, but I'm curious enough to give it a shot, see what I think. I'll let you know. Another one that I would like to get to if I have time is Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner. This is book 2 in the Godkiller series. I really loved Godkiller. I thought it was a great book. It was a really fun fantasy. It was in depth. The magic and the gods were really cool and scary and dangerous. And it was just a very interesting premise and curious to see how the story will continue. So I would like to get to this if possible. Might not be possible, might be possible. So if I can, hopefully I can get to this. Godkiller, you're following Kissin, who is a god killer, and she's basically like a mercenary with a disability, and she will go around killing gods because the gods in this world are very dangerous and sneaky, and they prey on humans. They like make deals with them for worship, but the more they're worshipped, the more powerful they are and the more they take advantage. So there'll be like a wood god, and it wants you to sacrifice things to them, and it might like kill you. There's just a lot of different elements to it. But she comes across a girl who has a very small god attached to her, and if they are parted, as in physically parted to a certain distance, they will be in immense pain, and they believe that if they are separated, they will die. And so she's trying to figure out how to help this girl and this tiny little god escape this situation. And they come across a soldier who was retired and now a baker, and they all go on this journey together. It is kind of fun, but not really. It's more dark and sinister, but it is sweet. It's kind of similar to The Witcher with the trio and one of them being a small girl. Really interesting series. This is the Illumina Crate edition, so it's beautiful. And I'm very anxious to get to this. I've been waiting for it to come out in the US because it came out in the UK in February. So it's finally out here, and I hope that I can get to it in April. And also I'm going to skip the shelf challenge for this month because Sunbringer, Northwind, Braveheart, Torn Heart, and Taloned Heart are all sprayed edges. So I'm just gonna kind of, we're good. we have read, we're reading the sprayed edges, you know? So I'm gonna kind of skip over that because we're reading so many of them this month, and I've got quite a few books on the TBR already. So we're gonna skip that, but I did organically pick some. Oh my gosh, my dog is so cute right now. He's so cute.
Look at him. Excuses, toys everywhere.
But those are all of the books that I'm hoping to read in April. Please comment down below and let me know the books that you're planning on reading in April. Thank you so much for watching, but for now, that is it for today's video. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time. Stay safe and caffeinated. Bye.